Hello, Aries. This will be some feedback for 7123 as well as your final reflection. I've enjoyed your presence in class. I've enjoyed our exchanges, including the phone exchange. That was nice. And I wish you the very best moving forward. I hope this puts you a little bit further towards your goals, which I think at the beginning of the class were to work for the Detroit Visitor and Conventions Bureau. So I hope to see your name in their roster soon. Aries, I really appreciate the effort you've taken to revise and then revise again. First off, your logo. And I think you realize that the W looked kind of like a C, at least part of it did. And I think the script is a nice contrast. There's a lot of impact in this logo. And it's a bit harkens back to cartoons and like kapow or bomb blasts that they would sometimes put uh, lettering in. And I see that you've got even it looks like an envelope. I think I've discussed this before with the older logo. I like the consistent use of palette, the simplified typography. My only suggestion would be, maybe make this a bit smaller. I like the way that you organized your type and left, plenty of room for the body of a letter. So good going in that regard. Your leave behind, I like from the start, Aries, the Maya Angelou quotes, and you could do many of these. You could have like a little stack of them to give away. Easy to produce, appreciated, I think, and something inspirational to send. I know several people right now that could use that quote. This is really nice. I think it's also in keeping with your logo. You've done a lot. Not everybody took to Bootstrap, and some people find it much easier to create something effectively, quickly, and professionally with other platforms. And I see that you've done that, including this wonderful animated little graphic. Do you see how that's scrolled in there for your resume? And then it looks like, do you have social media links? Yes, it looks like you do. They may not be working quite yet. Okay, yes, I remember that you said that you were a church graphic designer too, that you had worked doing inspirational stuff. And wow, this yet another iteration of your logo. This, it's effective in being loud, but it's a little out of control. Maybe settle on one or the other. I like what you're doing here. You made this a little bit more legible. Aries went in graphic design. See what you can do maybe in the future to augment that, make it even a little bit more pronounced. It gets a little lost at small sizes. Okay, but it looks great, Aries, and you've progressed a lot. You've done a lot of work. You listened to people's feedback, and feedback was really the second big project in this class, other than the branding suite. I see that you've logged your feedback, including my feedback, and I appreciate that. That's never necessary, but if you're not receiving it from elsewhere, I can understand why you note that. I also see that you followed the prompt really well, and you've logged quite a bit of feedback here. 5 pages of it. That's great. Um, you've also processed it too, and you note how, say, for example, Morgan's suggestions to add some border, um, to keep it more uniform, that you like that idea. I think in general, uniformity is as dull as it may seem, and as tempted as we may be to create yet another variation. Um, in your case, you yeah, go for uniformity. It'll help you out in the long term. I know it sounds dull. Keep your sketches, of course, and keep sketching, and always think about ways to improve, your logo. Well, in general, your online presence too. Um, but try to make things consistent. Be aware of the idea of a lockup. That is the position of say, the letter type to your logo. That should be at the same place, same distance from the edge, regardless of whether it is, say, a letterhead or a web page. Keep in mind, ways to keep your language consistent. As I may have mentioned, if you're warm and friendly on your leave behind, maybe that should be the tenor of your entire web presence. and of all your promotional materials. Okay, Aries, that's probably enough. I wish you the very best moving forward. Don't hesitate to reach out, maybe through LinkedIn or Facebook. My web presence is an evolving thing too. I was hacked recently and I've been busy over the last year or so trying to resurrect it. I wish you the best.